This is Julie, my wife, and I'm Andrew Carter. We live here in Liverpool. I am a pastor, teacher, and we have 6 children. And my wife Julie is a home educating mum. Before that, she was a university lecturer. Got married in 1995 in a church in Manchester, and then we finished our studies. I trained to be a teacher. Julie finished her studies at the University of Manchester, and then we went to Kenya for 3 years, didn't we?
So that was our first experience really of living overseas, and we weren't officially there as missionaries, but it really gave us a taste of life in another country, of the possibilities of how we could serve God overseas, and we both just really enjoyed it, didn't we?
When we came back, so we were in London for 4 years. I was offered a job pastoring a church in Hertfordshire, North Hertfordshire, a place called Thurfield Chapel. I was there. We were there for 9 years, weren't we? And it was very, very happy years, and we had 4 children in our church house where we lived.
We realised we could stay there forever. It was a very lovely little village, and we were very happy there, weren't we? But I think everybody gets to a time in life, don't they, where you think, okay, I could stay, I could get settled, but am I willing to let God move? So we went to something very different after that. We went to Kampala.
We went from one world to another.
We did. We look back and we think, yes, it was God's plan.
I'd been working as a pastor, and I thought, well, let's go to Africa and train pastors. And so that was what we did. We went to a place called the African Bible University in Kampala, and I had lots of classes teaching the book of Revelation, the book of Daniel, systematic theology to my students, mission studies, all kinds of things that I taught.
I mean, in many ways, Uganda was a challenging time for us. But I think it will always remain in our hearts, won't it? Because, for many reasons, but a lot of the reason is we had 2 children there. I guess there are Ugandan boys, aren't they? And so we've got 6 children now, but I think because of them being born there, that Uganda will always remain very special to us, won't it? So why Thailand after being in 2 East African countries? So when we first got married, a book was published soon after called Killing Fields, Living Fields, which was based on the experiences of some missionaries who'd been in Cambodia before the genocide that happened there. A history really of the Cambodian church. And we found that really moving, didn't we? And even in those early years of our marriage, when we were seeking God's will for our lives, we thought then, didn't we, maybe we will go to Southeast Asia. All the way along, for some reason, Southeast Asia has been in our hearts. But when we felt that we would leave Uganda, and we thought, okay, is God going to open the door? And it seems that he has done.
I think legitimately for mission work, you can have one of 2 drives. One is that you want to see Christ honoured in all the world. You want to make him known. That is our drive. And so I think that would be our first thing. And I think when he is honoured, that people come to him and they come and find salvation. They find refuge in him as their saviour.
So Avail have been a wonderful support to us. In our time in Uganda, they really were a rock to us, weren't they? And one example of that was we had a visit from one of the trustees in our early time in Uganda, and the other missionaries who lived on our compound who weren't with Avail, they couldn't believe it. They couldn't believe that we actually had a visitor who came all the way from the UK to visit us in Uganda. And they said to us in all of their years they'd never had that from their missions, and that made us feel very privileged. But that really was reflective of the support that we had from them. They really were just wonderful, weren't they?
Yeah, Avail are kind, and they're interested in you. That sense of kind of community is there, and you feel part of something special.
Avail.
Serving those who serve.